everybody. Happy Saturday night. My name's Tim. I'm happy to join you again here. We have a very small group today with two fantastic players. We are going to get down and intimate with Rogar and Geen, and I'm looking very much forward to that. But I'm not going to introduce them. So, Luna, why don't you take us away? Take it away, please.
Hi, so I'm Luna and I play Geen. She is a human Kensei monk from the Far East.
And I'm Brad and I play the brass dragonborn paladin Rogar Norixius.
And welcome both. We're going to try something a little bit different tonight. We've been asking you for the last couple of sessions a little something about each of your characters. Tonight, what I'd like to do is, because we are going to be finding out a lot about your characters, I'm going to open it up to anybody that's joining us on chat to go ahead and ask a question, or maybe I'll formulate one by the end of tonight, and then we'll ask one at the end. If there's a burning question at the end, then we'll go from there, and we'll remind people of this as we go through. So, with that, I think we might as well get down to it and talk about what happened previously on Banner and Chance. The party left Harrowdale in search of 30 stolen children. And they discovered that at the same time Karathor had shipped away these children, he had sent a shipment of 30 silver mirrors. They were in a tizzy. How could they catch this fast ship? Luckily, the townsfolk banded together, and as concerned parents gathered around, our heroes made their way to the dock to wait, hopefully, for a fast ship that was due to come into port to arrive so that they could start their pursuit. We weren't sure that the ship was going to arrive. Rogar fell to his knees and issued a prayer. The townsfolk joined in, and soon after, a ship appeared on the horizon. Late at night, the ship pulled into dock. The townsfolk gathered together. They unloaded the ship quickly. And our heroes were led aboard, joined by Griffaro, the paladin of Chantia, and Bilk, our gnome barber friend. Griffaro carried with him a chest that had been brought by the High Harvestress, as well as a robed figure that Geen discovered was the Myconid Pevik. And as the last beams of light left the day, and darkness became deep, they set out. And that's where we find our party. Now, several minutes, perhaps half an hour downriver. Geen and Rogar, upon coming aboard, you were invited to an office just inside, just off the main deck. There you had the opportunity to meet an older sailor. The sailor's name was Guerrella. She was a stocky halfling, olive skin, short crop brown hair. And while she looks quite capable as a sailor, she also appears to be a bookkeeper of sorts. She kindly brings you and Runt, Geen, Griffaro, and Bilk into her cabin, and she explains that she'll be showing you to your quarters and showing you a little bit around the ship. she explains that they know of your challenge, and she opens a large log, and into it records each one of your names. Runt gives her the familiar moniker Beatrice Merriweather, which she records in diligently. Griffaro and Bilk and Runt appear to make their way immediately to the below decks with the help of a young boy named Galus. Galus takes them away, and they seem eager to go, but Guerella offers to show you around the boat and says, I'd like you to understand what the Dancing Sword is and who we are, so that if we may be of service, then we can. And I can show you around now, if you'd like, or I can help you to your quarters, or I can show you a place where you might rest. I'm happy to give you a tour in the morning. But we have 28 able crew. The captain is Noble. She is experienced and can sail the Dancing Sword true. She prides herself on a trustworthy crew, and I know each one of them, their stories. And they are from all over Faerun, and some beyond. What can I do for you now? How may I be of service?
Rogar, we need to talk.
Guerella, perhaps we could take you up on your offer tomorrow morning.
Very well. Would you like, if you need to talk, I can show you someplace private, alone, free of walls, and comfortable, under the night stars.
That would be nice, thank you.
She closes her book, leads you out of the office. As you pass by the one hallway, you can hear Bilk's voice down the corridor as he is challenging and laughing and challenging a few sailors to a game of bolster. They reply, "No, bolster's not the game we play here, little one. We play portholes." And you hear him say, "Well, show me the rules." And then soon you hear dice rolling on the floor. You pass that hallway. She leads you out onto the deck. It's a large ship, 3-master, 4 levels. And she takes you from beneath the quarterdeck across the main deck floor and leads you up a set of stairs to the forecastle. You can see that there's a large ballista there, unmanned. And there is no one in the immediate vicinity. The closest person you can see, other than the odd crewman who seems to come in and out, tending to lines and trimming the sails, you see someone steering the boat and another guiding by star up on the quarterdeck on the other end of this 100-foot-long ship. And you see someone high above in the crow's nest of the main mast. But all of them are well without earshot, well outside of earshot. A brazier is lit for you. Some coals are brought up, and soon it's quite comfortable on this deck. And the waves begin to lap the bow of the boat. The river here widens. It's smooth like glass. What would we see you doing at this point?
Wherever Dean goes to sit or rest, I will lean against the rail.
And as you look out over the side of the boat, wherever you're leaning, you suddenly see a silver back rising up out of the water. And as it goes down, you see a small translucent fin. And whatever this is, it's 20, 30 feet long, and it goes back down under the water. At this point, Guarella comes up and says, I hope you're comfortable. Here's Galus again, and this young boy, long-legged teenager, tan skin, comes up. Here, Galus has brought you some wine, some bread, and some salt. And here you can see there's a dish of some dried salted fish for you. If there's nothing else, I'll leave you now.
No, we thank you for your hospitality.
The ship has slipped into a quiet, practiced calm, and it feels very, very still. There's few clouds on the horizon. The sun is open, or pardon me, the sky is open, the moon is out, the stars are bright, and you are running fast.
I'm gonna slide up next to Rogar, put my hands on the rail, and then slide my arm down the rail so my elbows are touching it, and then just wipe my face. It's too much. Everything's too much.
Where do you want to start?
I was always told the best place to start was from the beginning. How long has it been? Weeks? At least a month.
I've lost count.
Everything just moved so fast. We've lost friends, we've gained friends. There's so much that has happened. So many strange things. Does it all connect?
This Karathor has quite a long reach.
You'd think he was some sort of, I don't know, emperor of this country. He has so much power.
The trees that grow the tallest make the most amount of sound when they fall.
What I want to know is Why get Kozakura involved? He has so much here. Why jump around the world for something?
Don't you mean someone?
That too. But he didn't even know about her until he met Tetsuo. I don't know if he planned it. I mean, I didn't even know she was getting married to him until just before she was about to leave.
What do you know of him?
Not a whole lot. I know his father, his position is underhand. In my country, there are 3 high positions: the left hand, the right hand, and the other underhand. The left hand is held by a man from the Crane clan, and he just takes care of all of laws and politics. The right hand is a man from the Lion clan. He takes care of military. And Tetsuo's father, Osamu, he's the underhand. He is a protector in a way. He's the one who has spies and informants look for possible dangers to the emperor. It's very suspicious. And some people don't like their clan, but we just accept them because they do hard work.
A necessary evil, then.
Yes. So he works for his father, I guess, as some sort of apprentice? His older brother's clan champion. He just helps make decisions, and he actually lives on clan land instead of with the emperor in his city. But I don't know much about Tetsuo as a person, other than his name and his position. Nobody really talks to people from there because they're so suspicious. But also, they live so far from me. They live on a separate island north of the mainland, while my family lives in the most northern parts of the mainland, high in mountains. I know there's trade between countries from the West, so that doesn't surprise me that someone like Carthor would come, but dealing directly with the Scorpion clan, they're on the other side. Most imports from Western countries go to the Isle of Silk and Spice, and that's in the south. I don't know how they would get in contact or even know people from the Scorpion clan.
If his father is the underhand and his brother is the,
Clan
as you
champion.
say, clan champion, then he stands to gain nothing. In this culture, If there is an eldest brother, the eldest brother will serve the military. The younger brother inherits nothing and will usually go into the clergy,
It's a clergy.
a religious order.
Like you.
Sometimes, yes.
I mean, I don't know much about it, but I have heard some small things. Just things I overheard when my father was in meetings. A while ago, years ago, there was a sickness that came to our country. A lot of people thought it came from foreigners who visited the islands. It killed a lot of people, specifically the children of the emperor, meaning there's no one to take after him. He mentioned something about possibly someone from a different clan taking after him, but word of that is it's not certain yet. Everything is still being talked about, but I don't think many people know. I mean, they know the children have died, but the plans of what will come after, I'm not sure if everyone will just take care of themselves separately or they'll find someone else to succeed. The emperor doesn't even really have much power. He's more of just a spiritual leader. I don't know if that might have something to do with it.
It
But
seems as though this underhand has more power.
Could be, wouldn't surprise me.
They
I
know
mean-
everyone's secrets.
They do. And I guess there's something to be gained by sharing this. What did Cain call it? This drug?
Luhix.
Yes. I haven't heard about people coming under its spell back from home, but who knows? I'm very isolated up north, and I didn't talk to very many people other than my brother and my sister.
And this is not something that comes from any land that we actually can walk by any normal means.
I wonder if that place you can go to that place from my home, or if there's only one place, one door that you can go through to enter that place.
Oh, there's more than one.
So maybe there is a door where I'm from for it. I mean, we do have a spiritual forest, but that's all the way down in the south and is guarded by this tall wall. I never really thought much of it.
Did you recognize the flute-playing man?
Him as who he is? No, I don't think so. But I mean, he's most likely part of this group that Goro told us about. This what was the name of the group? Shadow. I have too many notes.
Shadow Weavers.
Shadow Weavers. I'm assuming he's part of the Shadow Weavers. That's what Goro told me. They're this group of dangerous people, and maybe he's a part of them, but I wonder, are they connected to the Scorpion clan, or are they connected only to Karathur? Did Karathur make them? Did he get them from someone from my home?
Perhaps they were part of the extended deal.
Wait, your paper you showed me said something about Shadow Weavers, didn't it?
It said that their great shadow would overcome the lands of the West. All of the gauntleted roads. I take that to mean the roads that helms, watchers guard.
So I guess we need to know where these... Tim, Goro didn't tell me where the Weavers came from, did he?
I think to your memory and from what, if I remember correctly, you discussed the Shadowkai. You discussed the Shadowfell.
But he didn't say that the Shadow Weavers were part of that, or was that implied?
I will say, for the purposes of this, your mind is drawing a connection. Gein's mind is drawing a connection.
Rogar, you know many things. Religious things. Have you ever heard of the Shadowkai?
Might I make a check against that?
Sweetly. You can roll history or arcana.
Okay.
Choose.
13.
You do know what the Shadowkai are. Another term that they go by is Dusk Elves. You know that the Shadowkai are native to a realm, a separate plane, known as the Shadowfell. And that the Shadowfell was created long ago. And although you can't recall all of the details about this, you do know that it was formed by the servants or the deities related to shadow, dark magic, etc. And that the Dusk Elves were either taken there or split away from most of Fey kind and are the predominant population of this space. And that is what you know for now.
They have existed for a long time in a place of darkness and despair.
Underground?
No, but without a shared sun or any source of light, it's only ambient light. And they have grown violent and angry.
So they live here in Faerun?
In a mirror image of it, yes. And another slice of reality. Like when we went into Kane's uncle's mind.
How would you go there?
Would you like to roll another check?
Yes, absolutely. Same.
Yes, please. You can also roll religion.
Religion would be much better. That would be a 16.
You know that entering the Shadowfell, from what you remember from the teachings with the Order, requires stepping into this demi-plane, and that either you can look for there are the odd permanent gateway, though they tend to be very dangerous to cross. They can also be entered. It can also be entered when there is an event of death, essentially. You've heard tell of entering through the shadow of a murdered man, though you're not quite sure how that would be accomplished. You're also aware that dark magic, certain shadow weaves, can open portals and gates into this demi-plane.
I do not find it completely coincidental that this ship we chase is known as the Shadow's Glint.
What does glint mean?
To shine.
So a shadow shining?
I'll take the gauntlet of my arm and reflect the moon's light off of it. Like so.
But shadows don't do that.
No, it's ironic, I know. Oxymoronic, but...
So that man came from a shadow world into our world? But he looked like he was from my home. He even spoke our language.
With multiple doorways and many ways in which to enter. The Shadow Realm is not beholden to one particular area.
So Carthor is working with these shadow people, working with Tetsuo somehow, maybe, in order to create an army of people, taking children.
The most impressionable. I don't understand the connection between the names and the mirrors and why they're broken, though.
They weren't all broken. It was just Run's mirrors were broken.
Just those, but they had two names on them, Yarba and Rosalind. And they were broken.
There were two bodies in the cave, weren't there?
I thought of that as well, and as I searched my memory, it was a young woman and an older gentleman, unfortunately.
I mean, I guess. Well, think about how would someone take 30 young children all the way from a field, having a picnic, through a city, to docks, onto a ship, without anyone noticing until after that ship was gone? Maybe it's strange, but back home, like any other place, they have stories, folktales, legends, monsters, demons. Back home, there is a monster, but I've only ever heard it in stories. I've never seen it, nor know someone who has. But this monster, it looks like a mirror. Like a regular mirror. Where I'm from, monsters can be trapped in objects, umbrellas, mirrors, doors. There is one for mirrors, and sometimes when you look at it, your face changes, or it can come to life. Some people also use these mirrors to trap bad things. I mean, could those people use mirrors to capture children? But how would they know their names? I mean, I
They'd
know.
be forced to tell.
Also, Harrowdale is very. What's the word?
Corrupt.
Well, corrupt, but meticulous in taking information from people. I mean, remember going through the gate, getting into the city? They had the beans, they had the papers, writing down everyone's names.
It reminds me. On two separate occasions, I didn't think of it until now. There was a man dressed as a bird, cloaked, but with a definite beak, who sat upon the wall and watched us.
Like he was wearing a mask?
I couldn't tell, it was too dark. When I turned to draw attention to it, it was gone.
You know, I don't think it may be true, but it's possible. Where I'm from, there are these magical people, magical folk. They're called Henge Yokai, which is what my mentor is. It's basically people who can change their shape to an animal. Either a real animal or a mix where they can talk and do things like humans but look like animals. Or they can look like you and me. Well, I don't think you, maybe more me. My mentor is one, but his shape is not a bird. It's what we call a tanuki, which is like a dog, but with a very sharp face, but not like a fox. Maybe it's got a big tail, like a... What's the animal with the dark eyes?
A raccoon.
Raccoon. Like a raccoon and a dog. So, I don't know. And Goro's been able to talk to me through this stone. Maybe that thing is also one and can disappear suddenly. I mean, there's a lot of things from home that are coming around us. Maybe it could be that. But why would it follow? Is it following you or following us?
Could not say.
You've seen it 2 times.
Twice.
When was the first?
When we were returning to the temple the very first time, and when we were making our way to the docks the second time.
So only in Harrowdale. I mean, I could ask Goro the next time I talk to him, but as far as I know, I won't be able to do it until the next new moon.
It's a long time for communication.
It is. So, speaking about things you're just remembering, we never spoke about it. But what chased us before? That big army? I don't think you told me. I just remember seeing many flying things and being attacked and running onto the ship. That was it. And there was a woman. A woman? A thing? She looked like you.
The dragonborn sorceress, yes.
Do you know her?
No.
Does she know you?
That I could not say.
Why was she... Was she the one who destroyed the village?
The army did. They were also the ones that attacked the defenders of the point,
What was that?
where we laid Raythene's daughter's body. The clerics.
The clerics are the defenders?
Mm-hmm.
But why would she come back? Or was she watching the area for people to come back? Usually armies just destroy and leave.
I'm quite certain that we were the intended targets the entire time.
So she killed all those people as a trap. But why attack us if you don't know her? What does she know about you or about us? I don't even know if she knew I was there. I mean, I was kidnapped and woke up there by chance.
That's where we found Jaren, yes.
I should have pushed him off the ship when I could have. I still don't like him, even if he is good now. Or at least better, according to Kane. Gosh, I miss Kane.
I know you do.
I wish we could talk to him. At least learn how their search is going.
Well, that's not entirely outside of the realm of possibility, but he needs to initiate it.
Well, I hope he can do it soon. I'm starting to forget what his voice already sounds like.
So, why your sister?
I don't know. I mean, I just thought that maybe Karathor thought she was something desirable, something pretty he could take.
Where would she have been so that he would have crossed her path?
A couple of months before I left, she had left with a group of people to travel to the Scorpion Clan's island because she was supposed to marry Tetsuo, the Underhand's son. And as far as I knew, that marriage happened and she was just living there. And then Goro came to me one night and told me she was taken by some spice trader from the west, Karathor, and I should leave and I should try and find her. So I believed him. I mean, he was someone that I always trusted. I mean, I love my parents and I honor my parents, but I know my father has always been doing everything he could to help our small family, our small clan of a family, gain more power. But I never thought he would do anything terrible. I don't know if he even knew that Tetsuo was talking to these types of people, or even if he knew that he gave up my sister. I mean, do you think he gave her that magic? Because I don't believe our family is very magical. I mean, I never told you, and I don't know if you ever noticed, but my bow can talk to me. With the spirit of Yin. I never met her before she died. But somehow she can talk to me while I'm holding it. Again, their family is magical. Goro's a spiritual thing, a spiritual being. But I don't think my family is. So how she got all of this strong power, I don't know. I don't know if he gave it to her or if she is using something to get all of this power. If he... But
Clara,
why...
Clara once spoke of the way in which her powers worked. It's been bandied around, this word sorceress, quite a bit.
What is a sorceress? What is a sorcerer person versus Cain? Are they not the same thing?
I can't pretend to say that I know for sure, but their magics are similar, but their practices are different. Cain is an arcanist. He requires books and incantations. He's learned. Sorcerers, as I understand it, just have an innate ability.
Can anyone have that ability?
I suppose.
It's not gained through family? I've never heard of a sorceress person in my family.
I once heard a tale at the Abbey of warning. There were always tales of warning, of the way in which power was gained by making deals.
With
Ancestral lineages. In this case, draconic.
who do they make a deal with?
A dragon. Dragons are powerful, wonderful, and oftentimes terrifying creatures.
I don't think you're terrifying.
I am only dragon-born, not an actual dragon, but thank you.
But so she made a deal with a dragon? Do dragons even still... I mean, you were born, so dragons still do exist, don't they? I've never seen one before. I mean, do you know of a dragon?
I think I did once. I had a family. And children are not formed in the same way. We are hatched from eggs in a group known as a clutch. I existed in a place known as the Cloud Peaks.
Where's that?
Not too terribly far away from Baldur's Gate. Light and darkness, heat, safety. These are things that most people take for granted. Somehow, I was the only surviving member of my entire clutch. Of the entire group, as well as the dragon who also lived there.
Your mother?
No. Dragonborn are similar, but not dragons. The actual dragon, its name was never told to me. Even the Abbey in Nashkel, they did not know. They knew that the brass dragon lived there. They were on good terms with it. Brass dragons are kind. But one day, riders came.
On
And some-
horses?
Yes. And something else dark descended out of the sky. I don't know how I survived. As a runt of the litter, I suppose.
Doesn't surprise me that you and Runt found each other then. But they don't know who killed everyone?
No.
They never saw those people? They just
And-
know they came?
And nothing grows there. We have a strong sense of smell, and I'll take out a dragon claw attached to a string. This is the only thing that Amathwin, my mentor, gave to me, but it does not smell like my people. It is not of my people.
But how did they find you? Did someone just go up there?
They saw the smoke.
And thought it was okay to search a place where a dragon lived?
The dragon helped to watch over the abbey.
This helm you talk about so much, is he popular? Is that the right word? Are there many people who know of this?
Very.
Are there many, I guess, powerful people of Helm? Would someone want to destroy everything that is Helm if there's many people a part of it? I mean, the paper you showed me with the platter said Gauntlet Roads. Your gauntlet. So does someone want to destroy everything that is Helm?
The Vigilant One can't be destroyed.
I'm sorry, my common is not very good. What's vigilant?
Upstanding. Forthright. Strong.
So they want to weaken it, but you say that they are very strong, so they cannot be weakened?
Well, all of the clerical members who made that final stand against that army that we were just talking about were all members of this order. The order who oversaw the land, made sure that passengers had safe travel. So, unfortunately, they can affect it.
So if the roads are weakened, they can use those roads to transport Luhix.
They could use the roads to transport anything.
Armies and people and children. But the platter, it's very important to your people. Why give it up to someone from so far away?
He must have seen something in your sister.
I mean, do you think he was originally going to give the platter to Tetsuo and then saw her and thought, I want something more for this? Or was he not planning to give the platter first until he saw her and then thought maybe I should just give up this platter because this woman is beautiful?
Does this clan you speak of, the Scorpion, do they make use of poisons,
Wouldn't
Drug.
surprise me.
drugs, misdirection?
From what I know of them, because they're filled with people as spies, I think so.
If he thought your sister was important enough, if he truly valued her enough, then perhaps this Tetsuo would have requested the most powerful item that Karathor had to give.
So he knew that Tetsuo knew that Misao was powerful, or is what you're saying? Or
Perhaps.
he wanted the platter and just thought I could give this thing away if Karathor wanted it so badly.
Geen,
Yes.
roll perception for me.
$15.
You're not sure when it happened, but you're becoming aware of a heat in... Well, let me ask you first. The ring that you took off of Penny Baywater,
Yes.
where is it?
I would have put it where I put all of my important things, which is in the pouch with the bell and the lotus stone and Clara's hair and Kane's spell guard symbol. So I've got an armor piece that goes across my chest here. It would be tucked under that.
Upon your chest, your breast, under that breastplate, you feel a subtle heat. You're not sure when it arrived, and even now it's fading.
What is
That
it?
was- I don't know. I'm gonna pull out my pouch.
The pouch is warm.
Touch this.
It's warm.
I know. Usually it's cold.
What's inside it?
My most important things. Kane's spell guard symbol. Clara's hair, my bell. The stone I used to talk to Goro, and I never told you the things I took off Penny besides the paper. I took a ring, some necklace off of her, and a dagger. I'm gonna open up my pouch and look at it.
Everything's there.
I have a pouch. I'm gonna feel around in it to see what is emitting warmth.
You can't actually tell. Everything in there is slightly warmer than you would have expected it to be, but nothing is particularly warmer than anything else.
Rogar, put your hands together, please. I'm gonna pour everything out onto Rogar's hands.
And there you see Rogar, this small brass bowl with a striker tied to it. see the stone, everything that Geen has described here. You see this necklace, and you see this ring, square, dark piece of obsidian, held in place by a fitting of silver. What else do we see in there, Geen? Just really quickly.
The necklace, the gold necklace with the 3 pearls and an opal, and Kane's Spellguard symbol.
Yes.
Taking the ring between thumb and forefinger, I'll hold it up and regard it. Is it warm?
As warm as everything else that had landed on your hand.
This is Shadow's glint. Watch, and I'll hold it until I catch the moonlight across its flat surface.
Indeed, you can catch the moonlight. When you do, almost imperceptibly, I will say you feel it go cold. And I would like you just quickly to... Oh boy, what's this going to be?
I'm still here. I'm just going to step away real quick and open my door.
Sure. I'm going to have to make it... It'll have to be religion.
Okay. That would be a 21. That came out well.
The moment you intend to have it catch the moonlight, you feel a very subtle, evil resistance. It's brief. It's beyond a moment. It's just a thought. And it's hardly hitting your consciousness, even with a 21.
Okay.
Evil source did not like that.
I detect the presence of evil.
I mean, it was on Penny.
Momentarily, fractionally palpable. Like I can smell it on people.
Only when you put it to the light? Just moonlight, not firelight?
I'll test that. I'll go over to the brazier and turn it to the flame.
I'm going to slowly put all my stuff back in the pouch.
You feel nothing, Rogar. I'll have you roll again.
18.
You feel nothing.
No, not the same. Not the same.
So moonlight then?
Well...
Maybe sunlight, but we won't know till morning.
Shadow. Glint.
Rogar, roll again for me, please.
Reflections. I'm just saying these words out loud. 14.
Nothing.
Do you want to keep that? In case it feels evil again?
You're holding it, yes, Rogar?
Yes. Still the thumb and forefinger between the actual rings swell itself. Not
So
putting
tiny.
not putting it on. I don't pretend to understand what this means. But
was on Penny, but no one else. So not all members maybe have such a thing?
well, if a secretary ran around with a dagger, one should always question her intent.
So there's so much we've spoken about all night. There's the sorceress, there's my sister, the children, Carthor, Tetzel.
I will hold on to the ring if you don't mind.
No, go. Please. I think you're best to have it.
I'd like to have further study. For now, though, I believe I've had my fill of the water. Dragonborn do not belong on the open sea. I'm feeling a little seasick.
I don't think any of us do well on the sea. Or at least we haven't so far.
Well,
But you can
yes.
go down if you want. I kind of want to stay up here just for a little bit more. And just think.
Be safe and rest well.
I'm going to stay there for maybe like another hour. And I'm just going to take out Kane's spell guard symbol and just kind of play with it. Spin it around and look at it.
As you do, shortly after Rogar had left, you notice that the 2 o'clock crew change is going on. Rogar, you can see that several people are leaving their bunks. You can see that Bilk is hopping along behind many of them, trying to implore them to play again, but no, they assure him they need to get to work. It's their turn in the mast. You can see an archer coming down from the crow's nest, and his replacement going up, and soon Bilk is following him back underneath, trying to convince him to perhaps just one game of portholes. We're having so much fun. And you can see him trail along behind him back into the warm light of the cabins.
After playing with this, I'm going to put it back and take out the lotus stone and do the same. Why do I need to wait so long for you? I'm going to put it back and then I'll head down to bed.
Just roll a 20 for me perception.
19.
Actually, give me your modifier on charisma.
Charisma? That's a -1.
And? Was it 19 or was it?
Well, you said
the roll?
perception. You said perception.
Sorry, I was wrong.
So-
I misspoke. Pardon me. Charisma.
Just straight charisma.
Whatever you rolled with your mod, yeah.
That's 16 then.
16. Okay. Noted. And off you go to bed.
I'm going to check on Runt first and see if she's asleep under her bed.
She's not.
Oh, okay.
No, she is not. She is not asleep, nor is she under her bed.
I'm going to look for her before I go to bed because I'm worried
Sure.
that she's kicking boys on knees again or shins.
When you look out, you see that Bilk is rolling dice with 2 new sailors, and Runt is quite involved in the game. For Runt, she's leaning over top of Bilk's shoulder and watching him work, and she's finding the odd gross thing to eat, but she seems quite content watching this game go on with a mischievous little curiosity, and seems to be enjoying the game. And there is money being passed, although no great amounts.
I'm gonna kind of look at my money and just think, I don't have a lot of this. And put it away and just. Are we all sleeping together in the same room?
No. You've been given a row of cabins, which is off on its own somewhat. However, they've given you and Runt a cabin. Rogar, Griffaro, and Bilk are in another. By sheer necessity, Rogar and Griffaro have been given large bunks, although they found almost a child's cot for Bilk. Okay, you're knocking.
I'm gonna knock on Rogar's door real quick.
Sure.
Okay.
Is he still awake?
Still be wide awake, considering. In fact, I'll be sitting in the swinging
Hammock.
looking at the ring, and I'll pocket it and go and answer the door.
When you do, Geen, you hear a loud snoring from behind Rogar, and you can see the sleeping form of Griffaro, his armor propped in the corner, the chest propped up again in the corner, and his weaponry, and he's this growling snore. And Rogar.
Hi. I'm going to bed, but I don't know if you saw. Runt looks like she's playing with money, and I don't know how much money you have. I have some, but if we're going to continue traveling like this, we might want to be careful of our money.
Well,
So,
we've traveled so long at the behest of others and cared for by so many that money hasn't been an issue.
no, but I'm worried it might. We are leaving a lot of people, and a lot of people have left us.
Excellent idea.
I don't want her to get in trouble with you, and I want her to have fun, but I'm just worried.
The High Harvest Mistress was also worried.
So I don't know if you want to talk to her or not, but I'm going to go to bed.
We'll see how she does for one evening, as long as she's not actively participating and is only watching. I can't see any harm directly in that.
It's Runt. I'm pretty sure she's going to participate a little bit.
Fair point.
I just hope she doesn't hurt anybody in the process.
Fair point.
Okay, well, I guess if she's still alive when we wake up, everything's okay. Well, I know she'll be alive. She's smart and fast. Maybe if someone is dead when we wake up, then that's cause for concern. Okay, I'm going to stop thinking about this.
Roll perception, Geen.
Ah, mother. Oh, 19.
You smell some sort of death. However, your ears soon pick up to the grumbling sound, which is no longer a snore emanating from Griffaro, but instead the sound of too many Chontian bean meals. Rogar, you have your own potpourri to fall asleep to.
I thought people of, what did you say, the clergy before were so, I don't know, magical, but he is so, how do you say, blunt and that. Do you want to sleep with me and Runt? You can come in our room, Bill can come in our room, but I'm going to my room now, okay? Good night.
My color balance has gone all off.
I've walked away. I'm in my room, closing the door with a slam.
Okay. Rogar, roll Constitution for me.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
I
sorry,
can't-
Rogar.
I can't even see my feet. 19.
Oh, yeah, you're able to stomach it.
Speaking of portholes, I'll go ahead and open one.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Among the dank, thick air that is your cabin, you're able to find some sleep. The breeze coming off of the Dragon's Reach. Welcome. The Geen, likewise, you find sleep, and the dice continue to roll outside your door. When you have a deep and dreamless sleep, you feel that some tension has been released again, although this doesn't seem to happen too often, truthfully. But it was good to share words and a laugh with a friend.
I'm gonna check under my bed for Runt.
Yeah. And no sooner are you up than you hear the bell announcing the next shift change, and you start to hear the ship come alive. You see that Runt is indeed sleeping under the bed, and she seems to be holding quite tightly onto 2 gold pieces.
Okay.
With a small smile on her face as she snores, peacefully. Griffaro is up and moving around. He is up slightly before you, Rogar, and shakes you awake and says, "Come on, big man, we gotta get up. Things to do." And you can
Break
As
your
you-
fast easily.
see him attaching his armor. "Come on, boy. The day's wasting." He pulls on the rest of his pants and hurries out the door. Before he goes, though, he gives you a kind look. It says, "I'll see you at the breakfast table shortly." You look across to the halfling, pardon me, to the gnome's bed. Sheets untouched. They are. It looks the same as when you left it last night. One thing that you notice in the light here that you didn't notice when you were going to sleep last night, in the corner of the room, what you assumed was the robe of Griffaro hanging, is actually Pevik standing there silently underneath his black cloak that he was given, swaying just imperceptibly with the motion of the sea. You hear the sounds of the kitchen winding up, and Bilk sticks his head in and says, "Rogar, come on! They're serving breakfast!" And he's dark under the eyes, but looks like he's quite happy. And as he passes your door, Geen, he raps on the door and he says, "Time to get up! Time to get up! They're serving breakfast! Roast tomatoes!" And he runs down the hallway to the galley.
Everyone here is so happy so early.
He'll crash.
Should we wake up Brent or let her keep sleeping?
We can bring her something back.
I hope they have bugs.
You head down the hall, and you enter this dining area that's been assembled. You get the sense that it can be taken apart and reassembled as needed. There are 3 people who appear to be cooking and serving the meal. All women. One of which looks like a scullery maid of sorts. The others appear to be the ship's cooks or masters of the galley, and they're working away. Pardon me, there's 2 cooks and one scullery maid. There's a number of sailors. The archer from last night, who you'd seen come down out of the crow's nest, is sitting there. A couple sailors trail in, looking like they've had no sleep whatsoever, and muttering to themselves. And as they pass Bilk, you hear them say, "Oh, we'll win it back tonight, Bilk." Bilk is happily eating tomatoes and sausage.
Sliding in next to Bilk, I'll comment, "You should chew a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Your enthusiasm is sky high."
I won a lot of money last night. It's good stuff. I didn't think I'd be good at Porthole, but hey, not hard. Not bad. Man, I'm tired.
We're going to be on the water for quite some time, and you don't want to be making any enemies.
Well, I mean, Gorilla said that the crew is very trustworthy. I don't think they would do anything to harm Bilk. Would they?
I don't get that sense. We were playing for small coin for the most part. Stakes went up a little bit, but there doesn't seem to be any hard feelings other than loser's luck. But I met a really nice man, Dinian, and that guy over there, Javon, he's also really nice. They seem to be good people. They know where we're going. Man, there's a lot of people on this ship, though. And they're from all over. Like, all over. Did you know they've got a drow on this ship?
It's a drow.
Dark elf. Nice
Not
guy,
the same
apparently.
thing as the Dusk Elf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Although, this does give me pause to think. We should not allow Pev to be seen by that one in particular.
Why not?
They both come from the same area.
Is it bad for them to meet if they come from the same area?
They're not completely friends.
Oh. Okay.
Apparently, this guy, he's a runaway. So, by the sounds of it, he doesn't want to go back. If that's any consolation.
What's his name?
Oh, Dedit, I think it was, or Dedex, or Dehedix. I didn't actually meet him. They were just talking about him last night. I guess he keeps to himself, but he's not a bad guy. I've never cut drow hair before. Could be interesting.
Hmm.
Maybe a mohawk.
What's a mohawk?
It's right down the middle, shaved on both sides.
Interesting. So, are we just expected to stay on this ship until we catch up to them, or will they make port before we do and we just try to find them? I mean,
Undoubtedly, they will make port.
do you think the captain would know, or know someone who would know who the people on the Shadow's Glint would contact when they make port? Is that common knowledge for shipping ships to know of each other?
Very much like brothers in arms, soldiers know a bit about an opposing force, perhaps. It's worth a shot.
You see it making her way past the food line, collecting her plate and sitting down is Guarella, who you had met last night, that stocky halfling. She looks down the table and regards you for a moment, and then quickly begins eating her breakfast
Okay.
with a purpose.
Excuse me for a moment. And I'll go and sit across from Guerrilla.
Yes, Master Rogar, what can I do for you?
I was wondering if it would be too much for us to ask for an audience with the captain.
She's been on deck all night. She is determined to come within sight of that boat. The crew seem equally interested, but I'm sure she would have a moment for you. Though I wouldn't bother her just now, as she'll be marshalling the crew into position. There, you can feel that? She's letting out sail. Good, strong wind. She knows these waters, Rogar. And with the boat as light as it is, we should make good time.
What happens if we catch the other vessel?
Well, we're not a man of war. But we're not without our teeth. We have 3 capable wizards on board, archers, fighters, and sailors who know how to handle themselves. And even these two back here, and she points to the two cooks. They know a thing or two about magic. We have a cleric to keep us healthy. Yeah. But the shadows gleam from what I've heard and what I've seen. Is prepared to fight. So the captain will likely get us within sight, if barely, so that you can plan what you'd like to do. And whether you'd like to challenge them on the water or come to another plan. But she was given the job by the High Harvestress to catch that ship, and that's what she intends to do. And she puts a hand on your arm. And no, Rogar, we are friends of the High Harvestress, and we are loyal to the Lord's Alliance, and we're with you. We'll help get those children back.
That's reassuring.
If you'll excuse me, I have to get to the day's business. And she stands up and... Remember, if you need anything, the crew would be happy to help. The boat is picking up speed. You can feel that the water is getting a little rougher. Not uncomfortably so, but the boat begins to tack and maneuver, and the boat will shift once in a while, and the wooden stays will groan. What would you like to do? Bilk by now catches himself sleeping in his tomatoes and his sausage, and I'm gonna go lay down for a bit. I hope you don't mind. And he picks up his cloak and his change purse, and he heads off into the back rooms.
I want to go find the drow. I'm curious.
Sure. How would you like to do that? You can see that Guarella is moving sort of back and forth down a far hallway. You can see she's moving from the lower deck, and she's got a clipboard in hand, and she's running back and forth.
I'll go catch up to her. Gorilla.
Yes, dear.
Bilk was telling me about what was his name?
Let me guess. Dedit.
Dedit.
Yes, Dedit.
Where may I find him?
He is on shift now. You will be able to find him. I believe he's on. She checks her clipboard. Oh, yeah. He's acting as foredeck archer.
Where is that?
Where you were sitting last night. You'll find him there.
Okay. Is he with other people or by himself?
Well, this time of day and given our purpose, the captain wants to keep our best eyes up in the crow's nest. Dedit's eyes, while he is skilled with the longbow, I would say in the daylight his eyes are not the best use to us, so we rarely put him on the foredeck in the daytime. But he's there today. We have him on a short shift there, and then later on he will be doing a bit of work under deck.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Do you know much about him?
Oh, yeah, he's been with us for about 3.5 years. He came from the Underdark, like all Drow do. He's not a... Despite his race, and believe me, I've had my misgivings about Dedit. He's proved himself loyal, and he's been with us and repelled raids, and would I say he's... would I say he's the most outwardly kind person? No. But he's honest, and he does what he says he's going to do, and yes, he's been with us and seems quite content to be on board. I've had no concerns, and I would take him into a fight if I had to. I wish
Do you know where he was before he came to the Dancing Sword ship?
He doesn't talk a lot about it other than the fact that he did not enjoy his time.
Okay.
That was a curious sound. You'll have to excuse me. I'm going to go see if I'm needed. And she races up to the castle deck.
I'm gonna go on deck too.
As you go up on deck, you can see that there are sailors racing, adjusting the rigging. There was, there's spray hitting the side of the boat, and the wind is picked up a little bit, and it appears that they're tying down some cargo, fixing some holds. The captain is surveying the sky. It doesn't look to be like it's nasty weather or anything, solely that they are going very fast and, out in this deep part of the lake, the waves are not small, and so, every once in a while they will cross one and it will burst into spray. And as you go onto deck, you can see that up on the castle deck, Guerella is talking to Captain Shrasti.
Do I see Dedit where Rogar and I were last night?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can see that he's got one hand on the rail, a bow slung over his back. He's wearing a type of blinder on his eyes, carved wood, slits.
Does he look like he's seriously looking at working?
He's on the job. Oh yeah.
Okay. Then I'm not going to bother him right now, but try to remember what he's wearing, what he looks like, so I can find him later.
Sure, he's got a dark brown cloak on. He's got some leather pants, also dark brown. His hat is a kind of cerulean blue, and it's quite tight, like a beanie, with a small fringe around his ears.
Okay. Then later I'll check and see if he's still there, and if not, I'm assuming he's down where Guerilla told me that he'd be.
Yeah, then, he doesn't seem to move in the time that you're on deck. Yeah.
But later,
sure.
I'll check again, and if he's not there, I'll head down under.
Sure. Just before you do, and this mid deck is quite safe. There's no, even though there's a little bit of rolling and everything. Before you do, you can see that Griffaro is coming up onto the deck, and he's sort of trying to gather you inside, and says, "Can I speak to you for a moment in our cabin, please?" And he has found you too, Rogar, and is beckoning you into to where Bilk is now sleeping. And then he says, on second thought, just hang on. We'll let that little one sleep. And he goes into the cabin, and you can see that he emerges with his war chest. And he asks you, Rogar, to grab one side. And he takes it into the common room and then out into a quiet corner of this deck where there doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on, and where you can find a little bit of peace, sort of behind a staircase and a bunch of crates. And then he sort of sits down heavily and he says, well, the High Harvestress told me to open this when I was in your presence. So I think before the other two are awake, we should probably go ahead and do that.
What is it?
I don't know. She said you would understand, and that I was to open it with you, and that there was something inside for you.
Both of us?
Yes, you two.
Well, I guess open it.
He goes down, and you can see that he removes a brass key. You see him turn the key in the lock, and almost imperceptibly lowers a small hidden switch to one side and unlocks this pad and opens it up. There's a letter addressed to you here, Rogar. And there's a package here for the young one. It's addressed to you, Geen. It says it's for Runt, but I'm to give it to you. So he gives that to you. There's a large something here for you, Rogar. And he gives you this heavy canvas wrapped package. And finally, it looks like there's something here for you. All I can tell you besides what's here is that the High Harvestress said these would help you.
Okay. Can we open them here? Is it okay? Or should you read the letter first, Roger?
Yeah, amidst the salt spray, I'll turn my, and I got not salt spray, but the spray, I'll turn my back to it to shield the letter from water.
It's rolling, but this is quite a tall ship, and it's not too bad. It's very misty, a little bit noisy, but not soaking wet or anything. And you open the letter, and the letter is addressed. It says, "My friends Rogar and Geen. Brother Rogar, sweet Geen, know that I'm with you, and that I've asked Griffro to stay with you and fight alongside until such time as you can return the children to us. He will ferry them back here while you continue on your quest. I leave Pevik in your charge, I include a map that indicates where I understand there to be an entrance to the Underdark, so that he may choose to return to his people. Though, if you deem it necessary, I'm sure he would be willing to help you. But I'll leave that up to you. Geen. There's anger in you, and I understand why. And while I can't give you any solace, I'd like to give you a gift and a word of advice. My advice is this. Sometimes, those who would appear to help us are only helping themselves. And you, who are growing so fast day by day, learn to trust your instincts. You're quick to fire arrows and strike with your sword, but your mind is just as quick. Sharpen your mind, Geen. And watch those who try to command you from afar. The gift is from our reliquary. And you now have this box in front of you, Geen. You're able to undo the latching mechanism. It opens up. Inside, you see two cylindrical items about this big. And they are almost made out of lace. But the lace is hard. They appear to be formed of mother of pearl, or something along those lines. Rogar, you see right away that these are bracers. And you can see the Griffro is looking at them with a huge smile on his face. There's another note inside. And it says, Chantia's blessing, joined with the blessing of the moon. Rogar, Geen, did you want to do anything while she's regarding these two lace-like solid items?
What are they?
They're gauntlets.
More accurately, they're bracers.
Bracers, excuse me.
What's a bracer?
I'll hold out my hand for one of them. And while she's extending her arm, slide it onto her arm.
Oh.
It's large for your arm. It wobbles around. But the moment it's past your wrist, Geen, it tightens and forms a perfect glove fit to your forearm. And for a moment, it glows silvery blue.
Put the other one on.
And the same thing happens. Rogar, you have a heavy canvas-wrapped package in front of you. Go on, boy. You didn't seem like the type to refuse a gift, or at least not from my lady.
I'll open mine.
As you do, you read the letter. Brother Rogar, you're young, despite your size. But your heart is strong. And they will need your guidance. I hope that this helps you contribute to the team and aids in your quest. I hope you visit us again, gentle Rogar. You open it up, and it's a helm. And it's old. It doesn't look worn, but it's a very old fashion. This helm does not cover your maw or your peak, or your beak. It stops at the eyes. And inset where the eyes are looks like two pieces of glass, slightly colored.
Okay.
Put it on.
Around the deck, you hear all manner of language being spoken. You can hear that some of the half-elves have switched into a type of broken elvish. You can even hear the drow, his voice, every once in a while on the wind, singing in some ancient Underdark common. And then suddenly, everything is understandable.
Should we open Rents as well, or wait for her?
The note on the package says, "Please save this for Runt. Once you know, she tells no more secrets."
Guess that answers my question. I'll open it.
You're going to open it up?
Yeah, I want to see what it is.
Okay. It is a bag. Looks like a pouch. And it is adorned with gold lettering and glyphs and a few different sort of magical runes around it. It has a drawstring, and the drawstring is golden and tasseled.
Do you know what this is?
Other than a bag, no.
You should keep it and give it to Runt when you think she's ready. You know her best. I'll pass it to Rogar.
Would you like to do anything else at this point? Griffaro closes his trunk and begins to carry it back inside.
Are these something I should hide, or...
What you notice is that they now appear to be almost silvery tattoos on your forearms.
Oh,
They're there, but they're not they wouldn't be noticeable at a glance.
Ooh. I'm gonna roll down my sleeves.
Try something for me.
What?
Speak your language.
Okay. My name is Momoe. I'm from Kozakura, up north. I'm daughter of... I forgot my father's name off the top of my head.
Okay. As she says it, I'll repeat each sentence that she just finished.
He just repeats everything that you just said in Kozakura in common.
Oh.
I don't know what this helm is exactly, but I'm able to understand.
Suddenly, you hear a... And the sound of the imperceptible or the unmistakable sound of an arrow striking the castle deck. Thunk above you.
Why?
You look up at the crow's nest and you see an archer with his bow having just released, having fired an arrow onto the castle deck. You hear the padding of small feet. Guarella is now standing next to you. And she says, A sail's been spotted on the horizon.
Oh.
And that's where we'll stop.
Oh.
Woohoo!
So, thank you, Brad and Luna.
D&D Christmas.
There you go. For those of you who were with us at the end of last episode, our characters are now at level 6, though they didn't have a chance to use any of that today, other than maybe some other modifications. So we're going to do what we always do, and we're going to do a very small edition of the bean count.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for the magic beans. Ho! It's time for the magic beans. Ha! Time for the magic. Time for the magic. Let's see who gets the magic beans.
And as always, we're going to ask our chat to go ahead and award a magic bean. Our man Chalta behind the board is going to go ahead and open up a vote. You can go on and you can cast your vote, and we will add that to our own. In the meantime, Luna, why don't you kick us off and tell us if you'd like to give Rogar a bean or not. Man, I didn't think this through at all. You know what? Maybe
Brad mentioned it to me right before the session. He was like,
We already talked about
that
it.
didn't even dawn on me until just now. I'm still drunk on Griff Rose parts. Okay, I'll tell you what. Tonight we're going to award 2 by default beans, 1 to Rogar and 1 to... in the meantime, though, I'll take a look at the accounting there. But Luna, why don't you tell me about what your favorite Rogar moment was, and then Brad, I'm going to ask you to tell me what your favorite Geen moment was, please. And I'm stumbling over my words tonight.
oh man, my favorite Rogar moment. I mean, I liked how he was able to recall his religious knowledge and bestow it upon Geen. I don't think he's had a chance to really kind of flex his kind of religious stuff on her before as much as tonight. So with the ring, the obsidian ring, and just being this be evil, and giving the whole backstory, all of that was pretty nice.
Great. So Rogar, that'll take you to +6. When you hit 10, you've got inspiration.
Okay.
Okay. Runt is sitting on inspiration, incidentally. Rogar.
It's still the level of vulnerability that Geen Luna continues to show by allowing you collectively, both our watchers and the other players, into her inner struggle. And it's identified by NPCs who tell her that she's too hot-headed or needs to worry more about who her friends are, but she knows that. She's coming around to it, and it's the interesting race for maturation between the two of us as to who's gonna
I mean,
get to be.
in Geen's mind, Rogar is like super wise and super smart, even though he keeps saying, "I'm 6 years old." Like, no, I think you're like one of the smartest people I know and wisest people I know.
So that's
great.
definitely why the talk on the boat, where we got the opportunity to really unload, and I kept notes on the things that we wanted to discuss, and we still missed 2 of them.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
No.
But it's okay. It's all right. It's still things that would require other people to, or could definitely.
Okay.
Well, you've got a
have
list.
other people.
You've got a list of questions now that you can have a plan to answer,
Yeah.
and who knows?
Oh
what's
yeah.
next.
Oh snap! I'm just realizing what one of them was. Oh man.
What's that?
Mhm.
Was it the curing?
Mhm.
Yeah,
That was
curing
one of-
people,
that was one of
curing Misao, how to something
Yeah.
that might cure her.
Hmm.
And then the other was Clara. We didn't talk about Clara very much, did we?
Hmm.
No, not very much. No.
Well, Geen, that puts you at a +3, and from the wild world of chat, and our man Icarus,
One higher.
we're gonna say that they've reported back that they would like Geen to have the bean.
Absolutely.
And the quote is,
Uh,
for the tin hat theory, I think the tin foil hat theory, where it's really struggling with who all's out to get us. Like, it just feels like there's so much conspiracy happening. So, good job, Luna. Well,
Indeed.
good for you. Absolutely. So that's it for another week. We get closer and closer to inviting more people in. We're sorry Shady couldn't join us tonight. I hope he gets a chance to watch this, and if so, hope you feel better, Shady. And other than that, I guess we're going to say goodnight. So for all of you out there, stay safe, be kind to one another.
Thanks for
We'll see you
watching.
again. We'll see you again next week. Bye, Banshees. Tell your friends. Better chance.